How's it going, everyone? So today I'm going to talk about how many push-ups a day to get ripped. In the background, I will go over my workout as it's going along too, so you guys can watch and listen to the topic of the day as well. So before I start off, I will start by saying that I know I said I was going to bodybuilding. I know I'm a fucking idiot for doing this, but I'm not actually going to bodybuilding. I just kind of needed a week off from the heavy lifting from powerlifting, and I will now be continuing my powerlifting training. I've been doing a ton of fucking research on powerlifting in the past week, and I found some new ways to keep getting stronger. And just the things that I was doing before, according to the research, and I mean, one of the main persons in the industry just wasn't correct. So we'll be going over that as well. But to begin with, I am doing 200-pound front squats, and I go for speed, you guys. This is my speed day. 6 sets, 2 reps with 200 pounds. I only show you guys 3 sets. So talking about how many push-ups a day to get ripped. How many push-ups do you actually need to get ripped? Here's the thing. All the guys that you see on the internet who are doing push-ups that look fucking insane, and I know who those guys are, or most of them anyways. All those guys you'll see, they'll have the fucking ripped fucking six-pack abs. They'll have like an insane pec, shoulder development, biceps insane. And then they'll do these 30 to 40 push-ups and they'll tell you that this is how many they did to look like them. This is 110% fucking incorrect. What they do is that they hit the gym 5 to 6 times a week using compound movements, doing a ton of squats, bench presses, deadlift, inclines, side dumbbells, or side lateral raises, incline chest flies, barbell curls, overhead extensions, leg press. They do all those bodybuilding movements to build up their physique, and then they do the 30 or 40 push-ups and says that that's what they do every single day to get ripped. So they're kind of fucking with you, you guys. Trust me when I say this. If you want to get insanely ripped, push-ups alone will not be the answer. I know that this is not what you guys want to hear, but I'm telling you how it is. I'm being 100% fucking honest with you. I'm not fucking lying to you like 99% of people on the internet. They fucking lie to you. So you guys click on their videos, so you guys watch them, and they get paid for all your views. So I'm being 100% honest with you guys right now, that if you're trying to get ripped, if you're trying to get abs, if you're trying to get a sick body, then push-ups alone will not work, you guys. Don't get me wrong, you can still build an average physique. If you want to look like the dad, like a normal sized, or a normal guy, like a 30-year-old dad or something, if you just want like a normal average Joe looking physique, then yeah, push-ups will get you that. But if you want 16, 17-inch arms, if you actually want a six-pack abs, if you want stuff like that, you're going to have to take it up a level. So right now what I'm doing is I'm doing speed deadlifts. So I did my speed squats, now speed deadlifts. Again, I'm using 65% of my 1 rep max for both of these exercises. So I'm doing 340 pounds on the deadlift, and as you guys can see with the reps, they are fucking flying up. I'm really focusing on as fast as possible. The minute my hands touch the bar, I'm going up, you guys. So in the past, the last 3 or 4 months when I've been doing my linear periodization, I wouldn't do speed training, you guys. I would do 70%, I would do 5 sets of 3 reps. And talking to the people in the industry, just listening to them and stuff, that doesn't work, you guys. Doing 60, 65, 70%, 75% for reps, 5, 6 reps, doesn't do shit for strength, you guys. It doesn't. If you're a beginner, 5x5s will work. But after you're, intermediate, advanced, linear periodization doesn't work anymore. And that's what I was fucking wrong about. So what I do is I incorporate a conjugate style. I'm listening to the people from West Side. Now, the big controversy, I can't even talk. Fuck, I'm stupid. Big controversial, you know what? Fuck that word, I'm not going to say it. There's a big issue. So if you can't say words, you guys, pick different words. Controversial. Yeah, that's a word, controversial. Controversy? Is that a word? Anyways, there's big issues over there because people think you can't do West Side if you're raw. 100% incorrect. All you do is you just don't use the bands and the chains. You can still use the bands and the chains. My gym doesn't have that, so I won't be using that. And your percentages for your speed days have to be adjusted just a little bit. But Louis, the main guy that's been doing powerlifting for 40 fucking years, he tells you what percentages to do. So instead of doing 50, 55 to 60, you start off with 65, 70, 75%. So he knows his shit. He's been doing it for 40 fucking years. That's all he's been doing is powerlifting for 40 years. He knows how to get people stronger. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter if you're on fucking steroids or if you're natural. Doesn't matter if you're doing equipped or raw. It just doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. It does not matter what you do. He will get you fucking stronger. So the key principles behind Westside is 1, speed, 2, well, not in this order, but 1, you're going to be doing max effort work every week. You're going to be doing speed work every single week. You're going to do the repetition method every single week to build muscle. So before, what I was doing when I was doing my linear periodization, you guys, is that all I would do is start off with high reps and go all the way down to the low reps. That's awesome. When you build muscle with the high reps, you build strength with the low reps. But my adaptations from the high reps would be lost time I got to the low reps. So, I wasn't only training one individual system, if you will. Now each week I'm training all 3 systems. And here's the thing. Actually, I'll stop there and I'll go back to how many push-ups a day to get ripped. So as I was saying, how many push-ups to get ripped, you can still build, you could probably maybe build a little bit better than average body by only doing push-ups, but again, you're really, really short-suiting yourself if that's all you're doing is push-ups. I know a lot of people just want the magic answer to get push-ups, or the magic answer to build muscle. They just want this one exercise, and to be honest, there is no one exercise. If you want to get a decent physique, you're going to have to use numerous exercises. So right now on my right now I'm doing good mornings, 150 pounds, 3 sets, 10 repetitions. But yeah, so I will show you guys what to do if you guys do want to get ripped. So what I recommend doing is doing your normal set of push-ups, do as many reps as possible, and day 1, do as many reps as possible using the normal style of push-up that you do. Do, say, 3 to 4 sets. Do as many push-ups as possible. Say you can do 40 reps. So make sure you guys write 40 reps down that you can do 3 to 4 sets. Next Monday, when you come back to it, try to get 41 reps. Always try to beat that record. But another thing you guys have to keep in mind is that the law of accommodation, your body will adapt to doing normal push-ups. So if you can only do 50 push-ups, trying to get more every single day, eventually you will stop and you won't be able to get to do more. So you have to use a variation of the push-up to keep on building that normal push-up. So what you could do is you can do different push-up variations. So Wednesday you could do a different variation, and then Friday you could do a different variation if you wanted to. So some push-up variations, there's a ton of them. You can literally pick 100 different push-up variations. I will go over a few. So you can do clapping push-ups, you can do archer push-ups, you can do sphinx push-ups, Superman push-ups, you can do walking gecko push-ups, you can do handstand push-ups from a wall. So all those variations that I just listed, you could do all of them again with a close stance, hand position, with a normal hand position, or a wide grip hand position. So doing each of those variations, I just gave you clapping, archer, sphinx, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. And then you can do all the different hand positions. So that's 21 different variations. There's a ton more that you guys can do. I just gave you a few. So you guys can really look up the different variations and yeah, try to get stronger with different variations. Just because, again, the law of accommodation, if you only do push-ups, eventually you will not get stronger. You will hit a point where that's all you can do is a certain amount of push-ups. Just like runners. Runners don't get faster by simply running at every single day as fast as possible. That does not work. They do different exercises to build explosiveness. If all you did every single day was run, you would hit a plateau and you would never get over. Just like writing your name. If you wrote your name every single day, what can happen? The minute you learn how to write your name, that's it. You know how to write it. Nothing happens. The only thing that can happen next is that you spell it incorrectly, you guys. So you have to do different variations if you guys want to get ripped. You can't just do push-ups. So again, 3 to 4 sets, do as many as possible and try to beat each record. Over time, you will get stronger. So again, remember how I said I gave you guys 24 variations? Another variation you guys can do is you guys can put on a backpack and start adding resistance. So you could put a backpack on, see how many reps you can do, see how many clapping push-ups you can do with 10 pounds, with a backpack filled with 10 pounds. Put 20 pounds in there, see how many clapping push-ups you can do with 20 pounds. So you can use 10, 20, 30 pounds, put a backpack on. So those 25 variations I just gave you, now I gave you 75 variations that you guys can do. So your body will never adapt as long as you're constantly switching up at the variations. You can stay on the same variation as long as you're progressing. If you stop progressing, then switch the variation up. So if you're doing a clapping push-up, and if you get 30 reps, and then you do 31, 32, 33, 34 the next weeks, and eventually you do 40, but then the next 3 to 4 weeks you're stuck on 40, you'll switch up the exercise. Do a Superman push-up. Try to get as many reps as that. If that fails, go back to the different variation. Maybe add 10 pounds. See how many reps you can get. The goal is to keep progressing and not let your body get accustomed to what you are doing. Right now I'm doing preacher curls. I'm using 40 pounds. I do 3 sets of 10 reps. But yeah, you guys, that's going to end how many push-ups to get ripped. I just told you guys how to get ripped, how many push-ups to do each day. Try to do as many as possible. Keep switching up the exercises. And over time, you guys will get a decent body. You will get a better one if you use weights, but that's my opinion on it. So again, as for Westside, as I was saying, you guys, the reason why it's so good is because it trains all 3 systems. In order to get strong, it takes 3 systems. As you guys can see too in the video, I got fucking bloody for some reason, no idea how. But again, for strength training, there's 3 systems. System number 1 is you got to train max effort. 2, you have to train speed. And 3, you have to build muscle, which is also called the repetition method. So you have to train all 3 of those. If you don't, you're short-suiting yourself. You're only training one system. You have 3 systems to train. And the thing is, you should train them each week. Another thing to keep in mind is that people are going to say, well, what about periodization? What about deloading? If you do the Westside method the way that it's supposed to be done with a 2 dynamic benches, max effort, squat, or deadlift, what I like to do is I like to do both max effort, squat, and deadlift, and dynamic deadlift and squat. I don't do one or the other, I do both. And when you guys do that, then you're training all 3 systems, but you will never ever overtrain. It's impossible. Louis has done studies. You will never overtrain if you do that. If you're constantly training 4 days a week, you use one day for max effort for your bench, 1 for your squat and your deadlift, and then you do the same for dynamic effort. You will never ever have to deload, and you will never overtrain. So you're periodizing your workouts by constantly switching the exercises up, you guys. So it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. And by me pulling that 340-pound deadlift, that's the strongest I've ever fucking felt when deadlifting, you guys. So I've had some big plateaus in my powerlifting career. I would say my bench press is a big plateau. I really want to smash 270. And my squat has been a little stalled, but not too bad. But my deadlift has been stalled 555 for a while. So I'm hoping by doing block pulls and rack pulls and different variations that I'll get past 555. And to be honest, I have a good feeling I will as well. So I highly recommend that. And what I'm doing now is I'm not reading any other information from anyone else. Louis knows his shit. He's the best in the business, and that's what I'm taking my training advice from. You go to any other person, doesn't matter who they are, they're going to give you a different opinion. He's been doing it for 40 years. He produces the strongest people in the world. Also, he doesn't just produce powerlifters. He trains pro NFL prospects and a ton of other people, you guys. So he knows his shit. End of video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Peace.